Welcome to If Numbers Could Talk. My name is Keelan. If Numbers Could Talk is a part of the Thinkering Group. You can find us over at thinkering.space. You can also find at Thinkering Space the Thinkering Talks podcast, the Exofathom podcast, along with the Plank Talks with Joe. When you get a chance, please check out our merchandise. We have merchandise on our website, thinkering.space, as well as merchandise at teespring.com/thinkering shop. Please visit, grab a t-shirt, grab a mug. We'll appreciate it. And when you do, feel free to let us know that you've decided to become a member of any of our fan clubs. Today's episode is titled WNB Ace. Welcome to episode 46 of If Numbers Could Talk. The episode WNB Ace is going to be based around a player that I would say at this moment, all pun intended behind the statement, this player, this person is definitely a spark in the sky. A player that set the tone when they came to LA and was able to go home and live the dream of bringing home a ring, winning a championship in the place that you grew to love the game that you play, in the place that you grew to know the environment in which you have built for yourself to be beneficial or not beneficial to whatever it is that you are pursuing in your life. That is something that I'm sure most of us would like to do if we have left home, especially. And for those who have not left home, they at least want to make a mark while they are there. Wouldn't you think? I think so. So this episode is about a player who, from 2004, that's when they hit my radar at least, all the way until literally last week, they have made their staple as a world basketball legend. That player is Candace Parker. Candace Parker was drafted as the first pick to the Los Angeles Sparks in 2008. She is listed as a 6'4", 175-pound power forward and or center in the WNBA. Candace Parker, like I said, hit my radar, and I'm sure for a lot of you out there as well, depending on how long you've been just watching sports in general, or how long you've been watching women's basketball, or maybe even just what age you are. Some people didn't really catch on to certain sports until they got to a certain age, and or still are trying to figure it out. Who knows? But it was in 2004 when Candace Parker was listed at 6'3", 165 pounds, that she won the Powerade Jam Fest, the 2004 McDonald's All-American High School Dunk Contest. She is the champion of that. Only a year after LeBron James won in 2003. Candace Parker won in 2004 over guys that you may know. I don't know. Maybe you know Josh Smith, who turned around in 2005 and won the NBA dunk contest. Or J.R. Smith, who, if you just look up either one of those guys and their NBA dunks or even their high school dunks, you think to yourself, wow, she had some formidable competition. And even other guys like Rudy Gay was in that competition. And it really came down to Candace was able to finish her dunks early. One, maybe two tries. But if you go back and look, even the highlights have an immense amount of misses from some of these gentlemen. And I think it's the right thing for that to happen. Like, you are going to lose points if you make me sit here and watch you try the same dunk 40 times or 7-8 times, and then you finally get it down. It's like, okay, that was nice, but it would have been nice if you got it off the thrill initially. So I'll just go with Candace's final dunk. She did her version of the D Brown. I think that's D Brown. Um, but the dunk where you go and you cover your eyes as you go up. And from there, right there, man, that's where the legacy of Candace Parker began, I believe, as far as a worldwide sensation. So let's go over some numbers, some attributes, some awards, some awards. But there's some numbers in these awards. Again, Candace Parker won the 2004 Powerade Jam Fest, which is the high school dunk competition hosted by the McDonald's All-American All-Star Game. She also competed in that, and I believe in another high school game. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm not going to name it. She is a two-time NCAA champion, two-time USBWA College Player of the Year, two-time John Wooden Player of, or she has two John Wooden awards. She has won that award two times, which is the most outstanding player in college basketball. She won the Naismith College Player of the Year award in 2008. In 2008, she also won the AP Female Athlete of the Year award. EuroLeague champion, four-time Russian Cup winner, five-time Russian National League champion. That's five in a row. That's five in a row, five consecutive championships in Russia. WNBA top 25 all-time players. WNBA top 20 at 20, which is top 20 players in the first 20 years of the WNBA to exist. Three-time WNBA peak performer, three-time WNBA rebounding leader, two-time WNBA all-defense second team, three-time WNBA three-time all WNBA second team, six-time all WNBA first team for Candace Parker. She's the 2008 Rookie of the Year, and she made the 2008 all-time rookie team. She has 13 WA. I think I might have written this wrong. Got it. She is a WNBA All-Star MVP, 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, six-time WNBA All-Star, two-time WNBA MVP. She is the 2016 WNBA Finals MVP. I believe she was this year's as well. I'll check that. And she is a two-time WNBA champion in 2016, following again in this year, 2021. Candace Parker also has 3 gold medals by my count. Those 3 gold medals are the 2004 under 18, she won gold. 2008 Beijing team, they won gold. 2012 London team for women's basketball in the Olympics, they also won gold. Candace Parker was the only college player named to the 2006 U.S. FIBA women's team, which finished in 3rd place while competing in Brazil. She is the first woman to dunk in the NCAA and the first woman to dunk 2 times in an NCAA game. She won she was on the team that won the 2006 SEC championship. However, they fell short in the Final Four. Candace Parker has a collegiate basketball record of 100 wins and 10 losses for her 110 college games played. 100 wins and 10 losses is Candace Parker's collegiate win-loss record, with an average of 19.4 points, 8.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.9 steals, 2.4 blocks, while shooting a percentage of 71% from the field, 28% from 71% from the free throw line, 3.9 point percentage of 28%, and a field goal percentage of 54% for Candace Parker. Candace Parker in her collegiate career scored a total of 2,137 points. After Candace Parker was drafted to the WNBA, she went straight to the Los Angeles Sparks, where she played from the beginning of her career, 2008, until 2020. From 2008 until 2020, Candace Parker was signed with the Los Angeles Sparks and no other WNBA team. Now, during that same tenure, she played, of course, in Russia, where she won 5 consecutive championships and 3 other international teams. However, after 2020, she was an unrestricted free agent and she decided to go back home. She is from Illinois and she went home to play for the Chicago Sky, where in her first year on the Chicago Sky, back home in the city she grew up, the place she grew up, so close to home, right there with family, she brung a ring home to Chicago. And that is how Candace Parker became a two-time WNBA champion. So let's get to that WNBA career. Candace Parker played a total of 14 WNBA seasons, including playing her rookie season while pregnant, including only missing, I believe it was 10 games, or maybe only playing 10 games, but playing still after giving birth. In every single season of her career, she played a minimum of 10 games. I want to say her lowest is 10, 16, and 17 games. Every other season, she played 20, 30 games. She played the majority of the season or all the season. That's incredible. Not many players in the NBA or in the WNBA can say that they were as consistent. I mean, maybe Derek Fisher, AC Green, Iron Man, you have to know what's going on out there and know that every professional athlete, usually they take time off for certain things, and especially giving birth and pregnancy, as they should. But Candace decided that she was able to play through that, and she did. And I mean, I believe she gave birth, missed about a month, and still made second all defensive team the same season or something of that nature. It's like there's a reason at one point she was called Shebron. That was her nickname coming out of college, Shebron, because of the way she impacted the women's basketball game when she was on the floor. Was the same way that it seemed LeBron dominated the basketball game when he entered the NBA. Candace Parker in her 14 WNBA seasons averaged 16.6 points, 8.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.6 blocks, with 2.6 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, and averaging 30.9 minutes in the regular season, with a field goal percentage of 51%, 34% from the three-point line, and 76% from the free throw line for Candace Parker in her 14 NBA seasons. The totals for those same statistical categories for Candace Parker: she scored 5,990 points, grabbed 3,095 rebounds, dished 1,422 assists, took away 465 steals, blocked 572 shots, while losing the ball 953 times and committing 729 personal fouls. However, in her NBA regular season career, Candace Parker played 11,116 basketball minutes for a total of 360 games under her belt. 360 WNBA games under her belt. In 13 playoff seasons, that's right, 13 playoff seasons, which I actually thought it was 12, but apparently it's 13, and I simply don't remember one season. It is what it is. However, 13 playoff seasons. 13. And you played 14 seasons? Like, WNBA legend. That's an understatement. Basketball legend. Candace Parker. 13 playoffs in the WNBA, averaging 17.8 points, grabbing 9 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.7 steals, 1.7 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, 2.5 personal fouls, with 33.8 minutes in every game, with a percentage of 49% from the field, 30% from the three-point line, and 78% from the free throw line for Candace Parker in her 58 playoff games for 13 playoff seasons. In those 58 games and 13 playoff seasons, Candace Parker reined in 1,031 points, 524 rebounds, 214 assists, 97 takeaways, 96 blocks, 147 turnovers, 146 personal fouls, excuse me, with 1,961 minutes under her playoff belt in her 58 games, 13 playoff seasons. Candace Parker goes down, in my opinion, as undoubtedly one of the top 10. We'll stretch it and say 20 if you want to argue. And that's if you really know basketball to argue with me that far. Candace Parker goes down as a basketball legend. She will be in the Hall of Fame. She's not even done playing yet. She's not even done playing yet. She just went back to the team that back home to the Chicago Sky. The only team she ever played for before that was the Los Angeles Sparks. I don't think she'll be leaving the Chicago Sky unless it's to go home and retire from basketball. With that being said, if she turns around and is able to assist the team in getting to another championship and they back to back and they repeat, I could be doing another Candace Parker episode this time next year. Right? So be aware that there is a lot going on as far as the media and why don't this and why don't that. Just if you love the sport, just go and watch the athletes. Go and watch them do what they love, what they've trained their entire life to do, the same as all the other athletes we watch. And if you're not impressed, find the game that impresses you. Because every time I've ever seen a game with and I can name so many players: Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Cappy Pine Dexter. uh, right now, I mean, you have um you have a lot of players, man. Like even I'm trying not to name names right now. I'm trying to think of a sport. Septicrawl. There is a sport called Septicrawl. It's an Olympic sport now. Most people don't know what it is, but if you were to look it up and go see it, you'd be blown away, and you'd wonder, like, why don't we talk about this more? I feel the same way about the WNBA. There's so many people who watch collegiate basketball, men and women, but they don't watch the WNBA. And I think to myself, you watch college basketball of any sort, it's because you love fundamentals. Well, that's what a WNBA game is. It is an exhibition of what fundamentals are on an elite level. Um, this has been an episode about the WNBA ace. You know, Candace Parker has a line out with Adidas, and it's the Ace line. That is the name of her brand or her line that she has of her shoes. Um, I had never really heard of it before, and apparently that's a trend of, nobody ever heard Candace Parker be called Ace, but I'm not gonna say I've never heard her be called Ace because I'm not in her circles. I'm not around hanging out to hear that as a name that she's been called. I've only heard She Broad because it had been said a few times in the past. I mean, she was in Sports Illustrated, on Slam, or I think she was on Slam and in Slam. ESPN magazine. Candace Parker was that player coming out and going into college and going into the WNBA. So I say all of that to say I thoroughly enjoyed thoroughly enjoyed these accolades. Covering Candace Parker is the first time that I covered an entire front page of a college-sized notebook paper with just awards. And I had to put a few more on the back of the page. I've never had to do that. And I've covered a lot of players. I've covered legends upon legends. If you're not impressed with Candace Parker, if that doesn't make you at least just want to go check out a Candace Parker game, then maybe you don't like basketball as much as you say you do. It's just my opinion. I appreciate you all for hanging out, tuning in, and participating in these endeavors that I bring to you. This information that I put forth isn't specific to any particular arena except sports and numbers, unless I'm not talking about sports, but just numbers. But it's not the information that we discuss often, as I've said before. And I want us to discuss some of this information more often. When we talk about uh, who our favorite players are and why we like a certain player, we should name the fact that they may have won a 2004 dunk contest against all odds. I would think that that should be in your argument on why you like a player. You could name that before they were halfway through their career, they were in the top 20 players to ever play in the league. Those kind of things. I mean, if I did an episode, I'll give you one quick one. If I did an episode on Allen Iverson, and why Allen Iverson is so great, I would simply tell you that Allen Iverson had about 123 broken bones. He was 5'11" and 165 pounds soaking wet in the NBA. You didn't even know guys were that small in the NBA, and he averaged 25 points. That's not me giving you his entire stat line. So in 15 years, for 15 years, he averaged 25 points. So I believe the numbers definitely tell more of a story than we give them credit for. And if we combine them with the eye test, we'll have greater stories to tell. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you next time here on If Numbers Could Talk. Tuesdays, I'll be here for you. Check us out on the Thinkering Talks page. We have Exofathom, we have Screen Time Continuum. Head on over to Twitch and check out Strawberries and Coffee. Head on over to YouTube and you can check out If Numbers Could Talk, Strawberries and Coffee, Exofathom, and the Screen Time Continuum. All of those shows are going to be there for you on YouTube, on Facebook, and we will continue to give you as much content as you desire and more. Thank you guys. See you next time. Ha, you got to see my face as I exit again. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great evening.